My name is Noah, and this is the video Why You Should Quit Porn. I just wanted to preface the video before I get started that my energy is going to be a little bit on the more monotone side. That's just because I have like family around. I didn't want to bother them with with me talking. Hey guys, my name is Noah, and today I'm going to be doing another video that I find very interesting, and I think that this is going to be very important. So if you saw on the thumbnail or the title, as you could tell, this is for quitting porn, why you should quit porn, as well as why you should quit jerking off. So for me, I'm on day, I believe, 45, and it's been very healthy for me. Thus far, I've become, even just by day 7, you can feel you become much more sharp as an individual, right? Now, being at day 45, do I feel like I've gained some sort of superpower? I would say yes or no, right? Let me be some sort of an example, okay? Now, what happens is you get stuck in a loop of day in and day out, and you seek pleasure. And I've I came up with some quotes of my own to kind of go along with this, as well as some quotes from some people. I'm going to start with this one from Napoleon Hill, a book called Think and Grow Rich. It says, "Sex energy is the creative energy of all geniuses. There never has been, never will be, a great leader, builder, or artist lacking in the driving force of sex." Right? That's from Napoleon Hill, and what it is it's effectively saying that geniuses, they're able to take the sexual energy, transmute it into creative purposes or leadership, some purpose, right? Now, I came up with some quotes of my own, and this is just some of my thoughts. I typed out my own thoughts, and this is just what came out. The first one is, porn doesn't give you pleasure, it steals your ability to feel it. So, it's cuck. It's doing something to you where you're not actually on the receiving end, or you're not actually getting the desired results that you're telling your brain you're getting. You're actually just tricking yourself in this long, elusive way of lying to yourself. The other thing is that porn is a silent killer of masculine energy, ambition, and intimacy, right? So these energies, they need to find a way out. They need to find a way to express themselves. If you're bottling them up and putting it into pornography, it's going to steal your energy, your ambition, and your personal intimacy with the people around you. Every time you watch porn, you train your mind to love pixels instead of a person. And I have a gripe against this. I hate looking around and seeing people on their phones, or when there's people around them that they could be attentive with and building relationships with. Rather, they choose to be on their phone or on their computer. Not that there's not times to be on your computer and to be productive, but keeping your ears open and your eyes open to what's around you and sort of observing your environment, I find to be a very healthy thing. The next thing is, porn is cheap. It's a cheap high that steals the real joy of human connection. How much do you have to pay for it? Nothing. You have to buy a phone or laptop or whatever, but it's free. But like any high, goes up, goes down, right? So you're stealing yourself from the real joy of having human connection, and that you might be feeling some discomfort within yourself. It could be leading that this could be a potential ripple effect as to why your internal world is in disarray. It could simply be for the fact that you're not using your energy towards other people, but you're using it for your own desires. The next is, you're not escaping stress when you watch porn, you're escaping your potential. So, although you might see it as some sort of stress reliever, right? That's not really actually the case. If, if you're to really thinking about it, you're actually just distracting yourself from your full potential. Rather than, you could do push-ups or go for a run. Number 6 is, they sell you a fantasy, keep you weak in reality. So what they're doing is they're capitalizing on that feeling that you get, and they're effectively feeding you what's not real, for the sake of swapping out your reality in order to gain capital and to make money. That sounds sick. Sounds really sick. It turns kings into consumers. Retention turns consumers into creators. So what you'll notice is, after even just like day 14, you'll begin to feel as though you have no other choice other than to pave a new path in the creative realm of your own mind. And that feels really good to do. Porn is fast food for the soul. It leaves you full but starving, right? It's kind of like when I think about, for me, I'm not always just hungry for food. Sometimes I'm hungry for knowledge. Sometimes I'm hungry for the Lord. Sometimes I'm hungry for my daily bread that the Lord provides. So you're feeding yourself a cheap cop out, right? Feeding yourself a cheap cop out, and it's not going to actually serve you. You're just exterminating your own good energy. Winners release energy into their goals, losers release it into tissues, right? We have the flesh, we are the flesh. That's a battle that we will have forever. But the real winners, they know how to release their energy into their projected goals that they know they have and they know they need to accomplish. It's a burning desire to get something done in a contained and dense kind of way, using information and facts to push a goal, um, something that feels important to the individual. Porn is the modern slave master. Your freedom begins when you stop watching. Do you want to be a slave? I don't. A man addicted to pleasure will never taste purpose. If you're constantly searching for purpose or for pleasure, you're never going to have time to search for your own real purpose. And in doing so, you're going to lack fulfillment. True discipline is doing what your higher self wants, not what the impulses crave. It's like you need to focus on the inputs and you need to just do it, right? True discipline is what the higher self wants. But your impulses is what that little dude pulling the strings wants, the little guy. You're not that. You're the big guy. The strongest men aren't those who indulge. It's those who can say no. Let me ask you this. Can you say no to things when your friends come and they want to party and drink? Do you say no, or do you just give in knowing it's not the correct thing to do? The mind becomes what it consumes. Guard your eyes. They're the gateway to your spirit. So you're always consuming. Your mind, even when you sleep, you're consuming the resonant frequencies in the room. You're consuming your thoughts. Um, and so you want to make sure that you're consuming correct things. And what you see, what you hear, what you taste, what you feel, these are all you are your mind. So you're feeding your mind. So when you go out and watch porn, you're feeding your mind this disgusting thing that is the sexual intercourse of two humans. And it's not even you doing it, right? I mean, it's just pathetic, right? So guard your eyes. They are the gateway to your spirit. These things are very important. So why do you want to tarnish that? The worst thing is that the world profits from your distractions. God profits from your attention. So the trick is you should be an attentive human. Notice when you're falling short of attention. Notice when there's people around you who are yearning, begging to have you around, but you're just distracted like a ghost. Non-existent, almost ethereal. But see, the trick is be able to play these grounds, play the middle ground, but at the same time, God wants you all in. He wants you all the way in for him. So serve others and don't ignore your friends and family. Okay? They say they want to hang out, give them some attention and love. Make sure you learn how to show love because it's not as easy as you think. Turns out to show love is difficult. Oftentimes, we resort to hate as a form of love. I personally think that we should try to break those habits. Be very clear with how we feel. We could be gone by tomorrow. So seriously, you never know what's gonna happen, right? It's like you have to slow down. You actually have to slow down time to the degree that your thoughts are back into accordance of the universe. There's an aligned truth in every fragment of the universe, and the journey is putting that into words. That's a lifelong adventure that requires deep internal exploration. Things begin to make sense when one has what I call 0 point awareness. It is the basic fundamental awareness of yourself, not of mental chatter with words, but deeper, the truer you. You cannot see the true you, but the people around you can. Our job is to see the best version in one another so that they can see the best version in you. In doing so, you fall into what we call love. So I'm going to give a quick Bible quote before I wrap up this video. I appreciate all of your attention. If you made it this far, you're a real one. Matthew 6:19-21 says, "Do not lay up for yourselves treasures on earth, where moth and rust destroy, and where thieves break in and steal. But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust destroys, and where where thieves do not break in and steal. Where your treasure, where your treasure is, there your heart will also be." It's perspective. The world is beginning to wake up. Everyone is becoming better at pattern recognition, and I genuinely have hope for the world, right? So I'm going to wrap up this video. I'm going to challenge you to try to do something difficult today, like go for a jog, do some push-ups, drink some water. Time is of the essence. The kingdom of heaven is at hand. This is a very serious thing, but I'm a very jovial, silly person. You're going to see a lot of shorts of me being silly. I like to joke. I like to play. So, anyways, Christ is King. Best of luck. Take care. If you made it this far, thank you so much. You're a genuinely real one. Please like and subscribe. I will make more content and I will make sure to make it more and more higher quality. Thank you and take care.